Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Dr. von Bregalski, Eric, and our LVN, Kevin. We are in for more masks. Today is the Erick Mask number 2. I can tell you it's my favorite mask. I'm wearing it. Eric is wearing it. It's so simple to make. Even I can make it, although I just started sewing 4 weeks ago. And it passes the flame test, and we have prepared a pattern for you. And please have fun. Eric.
So we have the pattern here that we are trying to upload to the website, and it's hard to see it, but I have the pattern here. So if anybody's interested in this pattern, I can email it to you, or I can scan it to a document. So the pattern is here. So basically what you do is you can do 2 fabrics of the same color if you want. Or for this video, we're doing 2 different colors, so it has a contrast, so you know what's what. So basically, you cut the pattern with the correct side. So you fold the fabric to the correct side facing each other. Put the pattern, you cut it. And you do the same thing with the inside. Again, this can be the same color, or if you want to have a contrast, you can. So these are 2 sides the correct sides facing together, because these are going to be folded inside out. So you cut it with the correct side facing each other. You cut it again. So basically, you're going to end up with 2 front sides and then 2 for the back. So 4 pieces. So once you cut these 2 or these 4 pieces together, what you're gonna do, and I cut these ahead of time just for the sake of time, but once you cut them, what you're gonna do is you're going to sew the curved side first on both sides.
And Eric, how far in is that?
So this one is, let's see, 1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch.
Yeah, and now if you want to make it smaller you can use the same pattern for a kid. So if you want to do that, basically what you do is you go in a little more to make the mask a little smaller. So this one's 1/4 of an inch. So again, once you cut it, these are separate. And then the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to sew the curved side first. I did it with white thread so you can see what you're going to do first. So this is the top of the mask, this is the bottom of the mask. And then you're going to sew this part first. And then you're going to sew the same thing on the inside. So basically you're going to end up, once they're sewn together, basically if you open it up, it's just going to be the curved side sewn first. So once you do that, this is the first step. Well, actually the second step, you cut it, sew the curved side first. Once you cut it, once you sew it, you're going to, the easiest way to turn it around will be once you sew the curve, you're gonna put in the ends first. So you're gonna have the top and the top. If you want, I can switch it over so you can see it like this. So you're gonna have the top, and this is the end. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab one layer, the top layer, and the top layer, and you're gonna put them together. And you're gonna join these two together. So let me do that again. You sew. You have two pieces here. You're going to grab the top. You grab the other top from the other side. You join these together. They're both facing on the right side. So you align them together. This is important that you align them really good, because if you don't align them together, then they're going to be all over the place. And you do the same thing. You attach the same to the other end. So you're going to end up with something like this. This is the inside. You attach, and again, this is the good side and the good side together. So you're going to have the outside of this outside piece, and the inside is going to be the good side. Hopefully it's making sense. So once you have that, you pin it to make sure they don't move around. And what you want to do is fold them together, shape them a little bit, and align them. You can do the outside, or you can align them this way. It doesn't matter, as long as they're both aligned. And you pin them, make sure they're straight here, and all around. Once you have them attached together, what you're going to do is you're going to sew all the way around, including these sides too. All the way around, and you're going to leave a space here, because this is the space that you're going to use to flip it inside out. So again, you put them together, you sew all the way around except for one piece. You leave this open. Once that's done, you're going to flip your mask inside out. And it's going to have something like this with your opening here. This is already the front of the mask, the back of the mask. You're going to leave this space open. You're going to grab scissors. You want to make sure that your corners are out. All corners are out. And you push all of them. Once you do that, you're going to close everything around it.
So you're gonna have one more additional seam.
One more additional seam to close this. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to close this. And the space that was open, you close it. I'm just going to go all the way around. So once this is sewn on in the inside, You're gonna leave this open space. You're gonna grab the whole thing, turn it around, turn it over inside out, or
Good side out.
good side out. You're gonna flip it all the way. And so what you're gonna turn is gonna turn out something like this. And again, you're gonna have this open space here on the bottom. And what you're gonna do is you're going to close it all around. You close the entire thing. Once that's closed, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have this part of the mask. You're gonna have about a half an inch. You're gonna fold it in. So you're gonna fold this about half an inch. Now, if you're making it for somebody else and you want it to go smaller, then you can actually fold it a little more. You just need to make sure that your elastic is able to go through. So you can start with half an inch. If you want to make it smaller, then you go in a little more. So what you do is you go half an inch, and you're going to seal this part, and you're going to leave a hole there so that's where your elastic is going to go.
So you're just eyeballing the measurement, you're not marking.
I already marked it, but it's about half an inch. So the flap is going to be about half an inch. And so you do the same thing. If you want to make sure that it's correct, then you just fold it to align it together. So you close this just on the edge. Now, I watched some videos and a lot of people don't have a sewing machine, and you can do this by hand. So it's not that difficult. It just takes a little longer, but you can actually sew everything by hand. So now you have the mask, and then on the back you sewed in the ends. And so this has, I'll show you, this has a little loop here that you can actually put the elastic in on both sides. So you grab your elastic. This ones are about 10 inches long and 1/8 of an inch width. What you do is you're going to put the elastic through here. And if you're making this for somebody else, then you can leave the elastic open or untied. That way they can adjust it to whatever they like. So if you're doing it for you, you can tie it. You can tie this. If you're making it for somebody else, you want to give it to somebody else, you just leave it open so they can tie it to their ears or to the size of their head. And just do the same thing on the other side. So that's, again, you can, if you're giving it to somebody, they can adjust it. They can tie a knot at the end. Tie a knot here. Once the knot is there, I'll tie a knot so you can see it. Once the knot is there, if you don't want to see the knot, what you do is you just push it in to the inside. So you don't see it. Now you can also, you don't have to do the knot, or you don't have to do this to be adjusted. You can also sew the elastic on the outside. You can just sew it together. But this is nice if you are going to be using this for a while and you want to just, the elastic eventually kind of wears out. You could just change it.
And Eric, with a thinner elastic, the trick I have done, because sometimes I just feel like not trying to push the elastic through, I just take the end, I lay the elastic on top and then fold so that the elastic would already lie there so that I don't have to fiddle with it, and then sew the seam here with the elastic already inside, and then you will still be able to adjust it as you need to. That's another little trick.
You can do it. There's a different ways to attach the elastic. If you don't want to do it, like that, you can always just fold it. You can always put one end here, sew it, put the other end here, and sew it, and then just have it sewn on there. So let me turn it around so you can see it. You can just sew these ends together. That way the elastic is already there. You can do it that way. You can do it, you can sew it with the elastic already inside.
Yeah, like I should, I show it again. So just put the elastic right there, fold over.
Mm-hmm. And it's already done.
It's already done, and then you just have to sew. So the stitch up the side here, the seam here, and then it will be in here for you to move as you wish.
So for me, so this mask is the same mask as this. They're both the same masks. For me, having it all day on my ears, it kind of like gets to you after a while. So one of the things that I came up with, I saw it on a video, that when you cut the fabric, you have scraps of material left over. So what you can do is you can make these little extensions from the scrap. This is about 2 inches. No, I'm sorry, it's about 1.25 inches by 4. What you do is you just save your pieces that match your mask, and you add 2 buttons on each side. You can hand sew 2 buttons on each side. And I'll show you how to make these later, but if you put the buttons on here, you can just get your mask, tie it on the button and on the other button on here, and then just put it over, and then this will lay on the back of your head instead of around your ears.
And how we do that, we will show you next time. So that's our extension of the Erick Mask 2. How do you call that piece in the?
I think it's just an extension. There's also
piece.
Another way to do it. You can actually, I can show you next time, you can actually put a button on here. This one, there's another trick that you can put a small button here on each side. That way, if this gets too long, what you can do is you can actually tie it or go over the button. That way this is a little bit shorter. You can just go around the button as many times as you want if it gets too long or too loose. And you can just add a button here in the inside, 1 button here, 1 button here, a small one. And then you can just tie the string or the elastic over it.
So we will show you that next time, all ways to do extensions to sort of make it easy on your ears, especially for those of us who have to wear it all day. Eric, do the flame test.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure that it's really safe. And as we have described multiple times before, it's just very advantageous. Any mask is better than no mask, but if the mask is such that you cannot blow out a flame, then it's ideal. And with that, I would say we say goodbye and come back next Wednesday. Looking forward to seeing you for the extension course. Bye.
Till next time.
Thank you.